morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that lovely? Doesn't that just look great? Might have looked a little better if he played, but we can't pick when we buy things. At least when we want that. So, what a game. What an interesting game, which is what I'm going to be saying, I feel like, for the rest of the season, but, well. So, game 27 out of 56 for the Winnipeg Jets, and the Jets defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-2. Whew. So first off, Brossoit is in. I thought this was a huge mistake. I thought this was a giant mistake. I thought that this mistake was going to cost us the game right off the bat. Now, in my defense, I also just watched Laurent Brossoit let in 3 goals on what felt like 2 shots last time he played against Montreal. So, a little bit of a tempered opinion there. He did okay. I think overall this game was better than I think. It's funny. This game was better at times, but also when it wasn't good, it was in the back of our net. So it wasn't like with Hellebuck where it was like a solid 2 minutes of us playing like utter dog shit and us feeling like we were playing like utter dog shit because the play just stayed in our end the whole time. It was more of like, oh, this is bad. Oh, okay. They scored. It was very... There was a very quick response from the Leafs when we played bad. So anyway, let's get in the game. Right off the back, dump in zone, passes it up. Oh, Engvall shot, scores. Ah! Yeah, that's pretty blatant hand pass there. Really? Wait a goddamn minute. Wait. There's no way in hell this doesn't get called a hand pass. Yeah, Pionk knows.
Yeah, Pionk
literally the guy goes like this. Bats it into the zone. Immediately challenge this ball. Watch this. Right here. 1. And they get the puck.
And then he
took... What? Yeah. Look, Appleton's staring at it the whole time.
Oh my god, explodes.
This will get disallowed. Yeah, no, that was definitely not... No, there was no way in hell they were counting that. There was no chance. The linesman apparently forgets that he's a linesman and that passing it with your hand is illegal because he's about not even a foot away from him and just goes, yeah, no, man, didn't see it. So it gets waved off for a hand pass. That was good, and that would give Brossoit a mulligan, and he definitely needed it because, oh my god, that was a sharp angle shot. I hope that maybe he was just kind of out of it because it seemed like almost all the Jets on the ice were out of it because of the obvious hand pass that they missed. But yeah, gets overturned, still 0-0. Kyle Connor needs to drive it to the net a little more often. I was saying this a bit about Ehlers in the last few games. Kyle Connor had a very good opportunity to do it this game. It's weird. Connor's fast, but he doesn't usually pick up his speed enough times when he's in the neutral zone, so he doesn't get to show. Like, he was getting caught a lot of times on rushes, and it's annoying because it's not like he's not fast. Like, this isn't like Mason Appleton getting chased by Austin Matthews, where I expect Appleton not to be able to get the breakaway off, or Adam Lowry getting like Adam Lowry, Dylan DeMello, Mason Appleton. Those are the 3 people that almost had breakaway chances. Those are the worst 3 names to pick out of a hat right there, except maybe Appleton. I'd say 2 out of 3 of those are not great. 2 or 3 of those, one's a stay-at-home defenseman, which is like what I used to say whenever Kulikov would be joined on the odd man rush. Do we even count him? It's a 2-on-1, but is it really a 2-on-1? It's a 1-on-1 with a bystander with a Winnipeg Jets jersey. Anyway, Adam Lowry's good. He's slow, though. And Mason Appleton is good, but he's not as fast as Austin Matthews. Anyway, though, moving on from that. Toronto was pinching a lot early in the first period, and it led to 2 straight chances for the Jets on odd man rushes. And this would become a theme of the game, especially for the first 2 periods. There was a lot of pinches by each team's defenseman. And the one guy who I thought didn't really have a good game tonight was Josh Morrissey. Josh Morrissey pinched, I think, 4 times at least in the first 2 periods alone.
It was crazy.
It was bad. Yeah. And Josh Morrissey is arguably responsible for the first, and I think he might have been on for the second goal as well. Definitely the first one, although that was not a good power play in general. But anyway, back to the first period. Just a couple things. Shifley takes a tripping penalty. Yeah, he deserves to take it. PLD misses an opportunity to shoot it from the slot. That would have been more annoying if we lost this game, but because we won this game, I'm not going to harp on it. Which is honestly how most people look at mistakes, if they cost you or not. Brossoit almost got scored on by Jason Spezza, who was just chilling next to him. Like, wake up, Brossoit. He did, thankfully, but... Like, I don't want to shit on Brossoit, because there's this thing that I had a feeling he wasn't going to do well. So, in the back of my mind, I know that I'm judging him harsher because I thought he wasn't going to perform as well. I'm aware of that bias that I had going into this game. That being said, it felt like he was fighting the puck a little bit. Like, and the 2 goals that got scored on him, the first one, it's a good shot, and it's a bad opportunity that we give up. Second one, though, he should have it. Like, he seems deep at his net, but I'll get there. Pullman bails out Josh Morrissey on a 3-on-1. That was a great play. Fourth line, I was about to say has the best chance of the period, but then right afterwards, Anderson makes a big save on Andrew Kopp, who just couldn't raise the puck on the 2-on-1 chance. This third line was buzzing with chances, and it will show later in the game. But anyway, end of the first period, 0-0. Honestly, this felt a lot like the first period of last game and the game before that. It was just inconsequential, nothing to hate. Second period, pretty much the first thing I have is Lowry puts it off of Mason Appleton's foot to score to make it on a 2-on-1 to put the Jets up 1-0. Reaction here.
Go, 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 go! Skate! Put on net. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! That away, boys! I have zero idea how that went in the net, but I don't care. I think Lowry puts it off Appleton. I didn't even see him go to shoot it. Oh, beautiful! Beautiful! Mwah! Woo! Yeah, that's not a kick motion. We're good.
Appleton, who is becoming a bit of a Leaf killer right now, stays hot against them. He almost gets a breakaway, but gets caught by Austin Matthews, so he just kind of takes a slap shot from it. Wheeler draws a slashing penalty from Bogosian, I believe, on a semi-breakaway because he kind of just gets there and kind of comes in from the, I guess the goalie's right side, but doesn't really get enough on it. That would set up a power play, and this was bad. The power play finally got their shit together in the third period, but the second period power play was brutal. Jake Muzzin on a shorthanded goal would score to make it 1-1. Reaction here.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Do not give him too much time. That's why. Oh, Jesus. That was way too pedestrian by the Jets there. The second that one guy had it, Marner has it, Morrissey immediately should take him. Because what happens is it doesn't matter. The rest of the Leafs players are irrelevant to the equation until Marner lets them become relevant because he has enough room with Morrissey. Watch. Wait. Now they're all relevant because all 3 of them are there.
And I don't remember if I get too much into it in my reaction. This is on Josh Morrissey a lot. A lot of this is on Josh Morrissey. Josh Morrissey is in a one-on-one puck battle. Well, not puck battle, but it was a one-on-one rush with Mitch Marner. Morrissey has to take him at the blue line. Normally, I wouldn't say this, but the fact is that if Morrissey had looked up the ice, he would have seen 2 other Maple Leafs players coming up behind them. This is a bad back check by the Jets. But Morrissey has to realize that he has to take him now, otherwise those 2 players from the Leafs are going to become factors in the rush. He doesn't take them. He waits, lets Marner, who noticeably is stalling for time, get into the zone, then passes it back to Muzzin, who will shoot it past Laurent Brossoit to make it 1-1. Right after that, Perreault, with an almost open net, misses it, and then back comes the other way. William Nylander on a 2-on-1 will almost fake Brossoit out with a fake pass and fire it to make it 2-1 for the Leafs. Reaction here.
Again with the rushes, boys. Oh my lord, that one's a bad one. Right through Brossoit. Brossoit looks really deep in the net here.
Brossoit's fighting the puck a bit. And then it was weird, because later in this period, it wasn't like we had opened up chances. It was more of we had some zone time, but I wasn't sure if we were really going to convert on anything from it. But sure enough, Shively shoots from the point, and Stastny gets a tip on it to make it 2-2. Reaction here.
Giving you room. Why did you have to go back to a spot that gives you no room?
Oh! Oh!
Whoa! Beautiful deflection. Stastny again?
And what's important about this goal? This is Logan Stanley's first ever point as a Jet, I believe. He had a second assist on this play. Good for him. And I didn't have anything really bad to say about his game today because honestly, overall, we're already past the 2 Leafs goals. So afterwards, it doesn't really get bad. And they took my advice here. They didn't look horrendous. They didn't look like the goalie had to bail them out of situations time after time after time after time. The Jets look dialed in tonight. Morrissey takes a hooking penalty. Now, he argues this, and I'll argue it's not hooking, but it's definitely a penalty. I don't know what the hell you call that, but he's kind of got to stick around and just stabbing him in the chest over and over again with it. Yeah, not malicious, but just more of a...
Well, it's kind of interesting because he put his stick there and then he take it out. And
yeah.
Put it and I was just kind of thinking, you keep putting your stick there and you're going to take something. And
so, yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely a penalty.
Yep.
Forward has a chance on shorthanded, and that will lead to Joe Thornton taking a penalty. This is a weird one to me because of momentum's kind of carrying them both into the play. But yeah, sure, it does lead to the Leafs getting a chance off this because we had so many guys deep in the zone. So maybe that's why the ref thought the Leafs were to blame on this because the Leafs do benefit from this collision. So Thornton takes a penalty for that, which will leave us forward 4. And then not long after that, Dubois takes a holding penalty. Now, I'm annoyed by this penalty, okay? And here's my logic. Why was it a holding? Was it because Dubois had his arm like this when the guy was coming this way? Because I would argue that kind of goes with his hit. He's coming and pushing into him. So you're supposed to fall down with the guy's body when he hits you. But I digress. Reffing was a bit... at times. And Leafs fans definitely, from what I've seen, the Leafs want the refs' heads on spikes, and I'm not going to say that's totally without warrant. But anyway, end of the second, it's 2-2 somehow, because this period looked a little sloppier, especially during the midway portion of the period where we gave up 2 goals, but still, we somehow walked away with a 2-2. A lot like the third period last night, except for the endless chances. Third period, I didn't have a lot of notes written on here because I just felt like I was just watching the game. It was a lot of transitional play, nothing too inoffensive chances for either team. And then out of nowhere, Appleton would feed it to Lowry from behind the net and to make it 3-2 Jets. Reaction here.
Oh. Yeah! Let's go! Yeah! Woo! You get what you fucking deserve!
Let's go! Oh, shut up! That was great!
Where's my...
Woo!
And that is a perfect example of the type of goals that I want the third line to get. Because it perfectly fits their play style. The third line is what is the grinding line. They're grinding for every inch.
Yep.
They're not a line that's going to get rushes. That Lowry rush was only because he was able to control his body around to hold the puck away from the defender.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we realize that we don't always need to have these beautiful goals off the rush. The puck ends up in the net, who cares?
Yes. Well, it's not even beautiful. It hits his foot,
goals,
but yes.
That's fine.
Yeah. But and it's right low in the zone.
Yep.
All 3 forwards there are on it. It's good. And Appleton will get another point against Leafs, and Appleton is becoming a Leaf killer for sure. First line has a great shift. First line was moving around a lot more tonight. There were still times where I was yelling at them that they looked like stalled players, but other than that, it was okay. There's a missed interference on Muzzin, in my opinion. Muzzin almost takes out Ehlers because Ehlers Muzzin get into a foot race. And if anyone knows these 2 players, they should know how the ending should happen. It should end with Ehlers getting to the puck first. Ehlers, despite picking up speed, looks like he gets interfered with by Muzzin. You know what? It is what it is. I didn't like that they missed that call, but we would surely get that one back, so it's fine.
And as a defenseman, like, you're able to kind of hold up the guy a little bit by getting in front of him, but there comes a point where you have to kind of realize that the guy, he's getting past you, and if you hold him up for any longer, that you're going to take a penalty. So, yeah.
Riley would take an interference penalty. Yeah. I can understand why Sheldon Keefe doesn't like this penalty, and that's why he got the... From what I was able to understand, that is why part of the reason why he took the bench minor is because he was not able to get an adequate answer based on the Morgan Riley penalty. So it's a play where we flip it up in the zone. So Ehlers is looking behind him, almost like an outfielder trying to track a fly ball. But Riley is is facing Ehlers. Both of them are like he's looking this way as Riley's looking towards him. And Riley just kind of puts his hands out. And actually, this play kind of reminds me of a while ago, the Matt Niskanen cross-check on Sidney Crosby. Because I always thought that cross-check kind of looked funny to me. Because I didn't actually think that Niskanen meant to cross-check Crosby in the face. I just thought it was more of like just casually putting your hands out because you see someone, you're kind of bracing for just this casual impact. You just happen to catch him high. He either takes an interference or a cross-check. Could have given him either. It hurts Ehlers. It knocks Ehlers down. Ehlers does not take a dive here. It knocks him down because he's actually tracking the puck as well as skating hard. It's kind of like watching an outfielder run into the end of the outfield. It hurts. And then just for that, Ehlers would then snipe on the power play to put the Jets up 4-2. Reaction here.
Why?
Yeah! Woo! Yes! 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 Woo! And this is where I could finally start to just relax. Now, right after this, there's a face-off in our end, and Toronto pulls their goal with about 4 minutes left. And apparently, after the as the broadcast went off, and did the commercials, Sheldon Keefe was still talking to the referees about this penalty. And if I'm Sheldon Keefe, I understand why you're upset about it because you in your mind you feel like the player ran into your guy. At the same time, I guess there's this idea that you should be able you got to get past it because the goal's already up on the scoreboard. But you know what? He is standing up for his players, which I can understand. Hyman takes an interference penalty off the draw where they pull the goalie. Yeah, Ian, here's the thing. This is an interference penalty. Whether you like it or not. Because right off the draw, there's about 2 Jets players that are rushing out to go there. And Hyman puts his stick right out like this. And stays strong in it. It almost hooks them out. I like to say it looked like a shish kebab. Like he put the stick out and then they both got caught on it and just dropped. And that made Sheldon Keefe a lot, all shades of angry. Because now they have a guy in the box when they're trying to score 2. So Travis Boyd would serve a bench minor for Sheldon Keefe to give the Jets a 5-on-3 power play. If I'm being honest here, I wouldn't have given him a bench minor. That being said, as an official myself, I always try to shy away from giving bench minors. That being said, I could not hear what was said, so discretion. I'm just saying that this call especially doesn't help the Jets as much as we think it does. Because this is the thing. Coming out of this game, what is the way that people are going to look at this win? Are they going to say that, wow, the Jets played better than the Leafs? Or are they going to say that the refs jobbed the Leafs? I think, I as a Jets fan, perhaps, with a more biased opinion, I would say that the Jets played better than the Leafs tonight. They were able to capitalize on more chances other than a real lackadaisical moment in the middle of the second period. But all 4 lines were giving it, and all 4 lines were not taking more than they needed to. The 4th line didn't overstay its welcome. The 3rd line was able to really battle down low. Even the 1st line knew that they needed to pick up their urgency when they were on the ice. But overall, you want the story of the game to be that your team beat the other team, not that your team was fortunate to have a lot of lucky breaks because of referees. And maybe that this call tarnishes it a little bit. But again, I don't know what was said. Anyway, so on the ensuing power play, Mark Scheifele would, pretty much like the Nikolaj Ehlers goal, 5-on-3 power play, because both of them have to serve it at the same time, would just snipe it, post in on Freddie Anderson, who had no chance, really. it's a really good shot to put the Jets up 5-2. Reaction here.
Yeah, they can hold the fort. That's fine.
Yeah!
Wow! Wow!
Oh my word!
Holy Jesus!
Oh my word!
It's like hey,
and we
ding!
and we still have a power play.
And yes, and then just like that, the Jets would hold on to win 5-2 over the Toronto Maple Leafs, which is not a sentence I thought I was going to be saying today. But overall, it does highlight a lot of things. Like the Jets just it didn't feel like we had to stress as much. Like we were stressed. Like think about it, Jets fans. Were we stressed about giving up so many opportunities, or were we stressed that we were playing the Toronto Maple Leafs? I would argue it's the latter more than the former in this case. Because I think, and I didn't check, but it feels like there was not as many high danger opportunities, certainly not as much as the second game, maybe not even as much as the first game. The Jets were able to get on them on their zone entries. They were able to mostly, whenever the puck was in our end, force it to stay in the corners or behind the net, and not to the point where we had 5 guys behind the net like idiots. Everything was controlled, and that's good. Like, this is the way you beat a team like the Leafs. That's how Columbus beat the Leafs last year in the playoffs. They didn't have this overwhelming offensive waves. They just played it really simple and sometimes annoying, but it works. Not to say that the Leafs aren't still deadly and this won't always be a dangerous thing to do, but it was nice to see the Jets come out on top in this game. And the Jets, on a 3-game road trip into Toronto, come out with 5 out of a possible 6 points, which I will take any day of the fucking week. That is a amazing stretch for the Jets, who will then go home to play the Montreal Canadiens twice before going back on the road to Edmonton. 3 stars of the game. And again, like, I thought Brossoit was shaky. I didn't think he was terrible. I thought he was okay. I thought we played better in front of him, though. It kind of reminds me of, actually, ironically, the David Ayres thing, where, and not because Brossoit is as bad as a 42-year-old Zamboni driver, but in the sense of because it was a weaker goalie, the defense knew they needed to step up. It's kind of the difference, like, when you're playing street hockey and you've got, like, a 20-year-old guy in net, as opposed to your 5-year-old little brother in net, and you're like, oh shit, we cannot let any shots come by. It forces you to play better.
Yep.
That being
Better
said,
defensively.
yes, that being said, I wouldn't like to see him again against the Leafs. Let him play against the Sens, maybe. But still, top 3. So, third would be, I would say third is Adam Lowry. Goal and assist, and unlike Kopp, who did have 2 points, which was great to see, there were primary assist and a goal, and they were very integral to the play. Kopp had a good game too. Second would be, let's see here. Who do I want second? I will give second to. That's hard, actually.
Did you get third too again?
I gave third to Lowry.
Yeah.
I'll give second to Ehlers, because I believe he had a goal and an assist. Actually, no, I think he just had a goal. But he was playing well the entire time, though, and he always looked confident on the second power play unit, which isn't new, but still.
And first.
First off, honorable mention, I will say, is Paul Stastny, because he has been able to score some goals out of absolutely nothing. Like, he's scored 2 straight now that have just been deflection goals. And it seems nowadays he's been scoring a lot more timely, which is great. And number 1, obviously, Mason Appleton. Mason Appleton, I don't know if he's been reading out some wrong phone books, but he has the Leafs number, and I don't know how. But all in all, really happy with tonight. It was and it's always more intense when you play the Leafs, because they're at the top of the division. And the Jets look really strong here. And, yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it this far. Be sure to leave a like on the video. It's greatly appreciated because, you know what, that's just nice. And also subscribe if you haven't already, because we just passed 250, and next goal, I guess, is 300. So we're very excited about that. And don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on the game because we love talking about it. I usually try to answer everyone I can in that. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Owen Hockey Podcast. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.